Is joy the most important emotion? From the moment that Inside Out opens, it tricks us into believing this very statement. And this makes sense to us. Joy is the first emotion to appear. The first time we see Riley, she's wrapped in a happy yellow blanket, and Joy speaks the first words in the entire film.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder, what is going on inside their head?
Inside Out places a huge emphasis on this single emotion at the beginning of the film. Because if Inside Out wants to do anything, it's to reverse the thought that is ever present in children's films, that there is no point in feeling sad. Hi guys, I'm Nick, and today let's look inside Inside Out. One of the main themes of growing up is immediately represented after Inside Out's opening, as we follow Riley from her small sheltered Minnesota into the massive complex cityscape of San Francisco, charting a transition into the next stage of her life. A transition of size and complexity. The control panels also subtly shift, from the single emotion that Riley could comprehend as a child, to the larger, more complex one that we see when we meet her at 11 years old. But one of the boldest moves that the directors took with Inside Out, one that is heavily intertwined with the message of growing up, was to actually explore why we feel sad. And it's a good question. What's the point of feeling sad over a breakup, or feeling sad about a move? Why not just be happy and move on? Well, Inside Out shows us through sadness herself. Sadness in this film is part of Headquarters. Love that name. And is an emotion that no one truthfully understands, especially Joy.
You met sadness. She... I'm not actually sure what she does.
And because of this, when sadness comes knocking at a pivotal point in Riley's maturity, needing more control than ever, she is literally bottled up and forced into her circle of sadness. Here, I think Inside Out takes a serious jab at the way that kids are taught to control their emotions through film. Taught like Riley to always be happy and be rewarded for it, but to never be sad. Here, I've highlighted a few keywords from this very important conversation to help you understand what it's actually saying.
You've stayed our happy girl. Your dad's under a lot of pressure, but if you and I can keep smiling, it would be a big help.
So Riley ignores her pressing sadness and instead turns to Joy to cover it all up, creating a facade. A great example of this control can be seen in a spectacular wonder that the film puts across. It's so important to watch how the camera follows Joy in this scene, never leaving her side, placing a huge emphasis upon her. Cleverly, you can follow this progression externally, with Riley covering her shirt, proudly displaying all of her emotions in colour with a deep yellow jacket, symbolic of Joy taking over her emotional state. This shot in particular shows this dynamic extremely well, with Riley covering up her emotions with that deep yellow jacket, but also still being able to see Riley's emotions hanging out the side with her shirt. The framing of this shot is also incredibly clever, as we can see Riley framed between her two parents which fill up the foreground, showing that she is being happy to remain between them to keep them happy. If you wanted to look even deeper, you could say her shutting the door here as a way of shutting her parents out. Thus, Inside Out begins to explain how our memories can turn from happy to sad, and how ignoring feeling can lead to feeling nothing at all. In Riley's outburst in class, in her failed attempt to control her sadness, she chooses to push it down even further. An action which sends her two most important emotions away, leaving behind only disgust, anger, and fear, and a pretty interesting explanation for depression. Now externally, her shirt is a violently turbulent, wiry string of colour. Her emotions are all messed up inside, and as she remains in denial of this feeling, she falls deeper into this emotionless void, literally and figuratively in the film. Until the next time we see her, she's draped completely in black. It isn't until the crux of the film, when she's accepted her sadness and let go of her childhood, can we see a literal representation of this colour returning. But at what point does this pivotal realization